That video was so cute.
On a nice little Christmas remix.
I love that. That was so cute. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Game Day preview show with myself and Flex. Unfortunately, we're still behind closed doors at the moment, we could say.
Yeah, you could say that. Behind closed doors until further notice, mate.
Till further notice, but we will be back in person very, very soon. Thankfully, this week we do have a lot more games to preview after the Premier League had that meeting on Monday. And to quote, it was confirmed at the Premier League club meeting on Monday that while recognising a number of clubs are experiencing COVID-19 outbreaks and challenges, it is the league's collective intention to continue the current fixture schedule where safely possible, which I'm very happy about. You're very happy about it as well?
Yeah, as long as it's, listen, I've always been in the camp. If it's safe to play the games, play the games. If it's not safe, call them off. And maybe look at this circuit breaker thing to let things calm down, just so it's a level playing field for everyone. But I get it, fixture pile up and all of that stuff. I don't go too far one way or the other. I just think safety of players, fans. You know, we all attend a lot of these games. I know you go to a lot of these games as well. And you just want to know that it's safe, innit? So yeah. I was kind of, whatever decision they make, cool, but just have clarity. That's all I want, just clarity.
Well, we have seen the Liverpool Leeds game been called off on Boxing Day, and also Wolves Watford. But United will be back in action. We haven't seen them play for a while. Spurs are now fully back in action, and hopefully they can just kind of keep it to a minimum with these cases, fingers crossed. So Manchester City take on Leicester. City have won 8 of their last 10 Premier League games against Leicester, including a 1-0 victory in the reverse fixture earlier this season. Leicester, we saw them get dumped out of the Carabao Cup the other night after being 3-1 up. What is going on at Leicester at the minute?
They're just nearly men, isn't it? Like every time they look like they're going to turn a corner, something seems to happen. 3-1 up at Anfield, not that long to go. You know, they can't hang on right at the end. Minamino scores a great goal, and then they obviously lose on pens. I just think they're just having an up and down season. They haven't been able to get consistent at all. No consistency at all.
The thing is, we set the bar so high for Leicester because of how they've been the last 2 seasons. Obviously, they won the FA Cup, they won the Community Shield. It looked like they were really just going to finally get themselves over the line where they've been so good. And is it kind of like Brendan Rodgers has gone a bit stale? Like it can happen at clubs.
It can. Do you know what? For me, though, and I'm not just saying it because when Ollie got sacked and I sort of said, I think Rodgers is still a good coach. And a lot of United fans and a lot of other people say, no, he's a nearly man. He should have got them, Champions League twice. He bottled it. And then people were saying the other night when they obviously went out last minute, this is what I mean about him. He's this. I don't know whether I'm just trying to fall on my sword, but I don't know. I still just like Brendan Rodgers. I do. A lot of people say, I remember when we were speaking to Rory, you can't stand him. It's just some people just really don't rate him. I still rate him. It can go stale at a club and you can lose your way a little bit. So yeah, I just think he's experiencing a little bit of that right now, man. But I'm still a big fan of Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, I am as well. However, on the other hand, Manchester City, they've broken the record with 34 wins in a calendar year. And also, they've also broken their own record with most goals scored in a calendar year, which is 106. It's just insane. I mean, they do this thing, City, where like everyone like hypes up Liverpool and Chelsea and like City, and everyone's like, what about City? And people try and write them off, and then all of a sudden they just like burst into action, and then they're like flawless. So
yeah, the no striker thing. I know you say, well, they have got a striker. They've got Jesus. I know you always say that, but look, it doesn't matter who plays up front is the key. It doesn't. Whether it's Sterling as a false 9, Foden false 9, Ferran Torres for a few games, even though he's going to be off now. Jesus, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne has played that. It doesn't matter. Matter. They score a shed load of goals. They play in the same way, and it hurts to just always keep bigging them up, but it's true. Like them and Liverpool, though, you need 90 points plus to win this league. It's a different ball game. It's different. I know we'll get to Chelsea later, but on Man City, they're just too good. They're just too good. They're just too good.
I think that they're just unstoppable. And once they get themselves into that form that they're currently in, it's impossible. You just never.
And they've done it before as well. What was it last season? They've done like 20 in a row, easy. They put W's together like nothing. So no surprises. No surprises there.
It's mental. City are actually unbeaten at home on Boxing Day in their last 8. Leicester have won just one of their last 11 games on Boxing Day. So the stats are telling you it's not looking good for Leicester. What's your prediction on this one?
2-0 City, because when these festive games do come up, you know, there's a lot of games in a short amount of time, and sometimes the managers have one eye on the game that's 2 days after. You know, Klopp was obviously going mad at that. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit as well.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get like freak results in this period. Do you know what I mean? When teams have to change a little bit, not the same continuity, but I still think City will get the job done against Leicester 2-0.
Yeah. Okay, I'm also going 2-0 on that as well. I think it'll be tighter than like a 7-0 that we saw.
Yeah, no, it won't be that. Yeah.
But yeah, this has got a City win all over it. Okay, Spurs take on Crystal Palace following their 3-0 victory at Selhurst Park in the reverse.
Nice
victory.
game, this. Yeah, nice game.
It is a really nice game. Crystal Palace are looking for back-to-back league wins against Spurs, and it's their 46th time in a meeting. Spurs, though, are in a totally different place to when they got battered 3-0. Different coach, different team, different mentality. They've scored 9 goals in their last 4 Premier League games, as many as they had done in their first 11 in the competition. So this game is a good game, and it's always Spurs usually edge it, but it's always really a tight game between these two.
Yeah, the Conte effect is really kicking in at Spurs. I think everybody who knows football knew that Conte was capable of getting this Spurs size just organised. I know I've said, look, he can't turn water into wine. He can't work miracles. And he even admitted it in one point, you know, after that more or less, this is the size of the task here. But to just get players buying in. Like half of getting a bounce is just getting players to buy in and apply themselves at a level that, you know, it can be consistent and the rest can kind of follow. And it's not pretty for large periods. You know, I'm sure you were there, obviously, at the West Ham game. You know, large parts of the performance weren't great, but just defensively solid and not giving up massive chances.
That's what they need to do, Spurs.
That's what they need to do, yeah.
And what's amazing is that, you know, they've gone from being bottom of everything in the league this year. You know, this distance covered, this and that, and now they're first. And that just shows you, if you believe in what the manager is doing, and also, you know, not just doing nothing and not tracking back, not running, and actually putting some effort. It shows you, like, these players are decent players, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And even the fringe ones, like the Dele Allis, the Harry Winks. Harry Winks is having an insane resurgence.
I've always liked Harry. Just quickly on him, I don't know what is. I said this when Man United beat them. I know there's all this gas about Skip. For me, Harry Winks, I think he's wicked. I honestly think he's very good. I actually think he's very good.
Skip is sensational.
Skip sensational.
Skip is sensational.
Oh my! I've heard it all. I've heard it all.
Any Spurs fan,
sensational.
Oliver Skip will be. I think.
What? Because of the running around and he gets it and all of that.
He's just everywhere. He's just everywhere.
Oh my!
He is.
You said the word sensational.
He is sensational, and I'm telling you, I'm backing him. He will be in Qatar. He'll be on the plane.
Oh my! Do you know what? No, actually, do you know what?
I'm backing him.
The way the football goes, that could. Do you know? I don't agree with that. I don't think he's that good. Honestly, I think Winks is way clear of him. I think even when Winks come on, he makes angles for them. I'm watching him. I thought, because I'm a Winks guy. I'm watching him. I'm going. He's making angles. He's keeping the game ticking. Skip.
Harry Winks.
Skip.
Harry Winks is a good player. Harry Winks has only decided to suddenly start passing forward in the last.
He could do that. That's because he's good.
Okay, but listen, you don't watch Oliver Skip every single week.
I don't.
He had an outstanding season at Norwich last year. He has been Spurs Player of the Season, and he is literally 8, 9 out of 10 every single game. I'm telling you, speak to any Spurs fan, they'll tell you, and I'm backing him to be on that plane to Qatar.
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that you're backing. Because like I said, when I spoke to Spurs fans after Man United, when we beat you guys, when anything got sacked, they were saying it then, and I was like, where's Winks, man? Winks is the guy. Skip's dead. But
Skip's the guy. Oliver Skip is the guy. I'm telling you.
I can't argue with Spurs. That's just but this game, I like this game though. I think you're right in terms of Spurs normally edge it, but it will be a difficult game, and I think this will be the same. I think maybe like 2-1 or 3-2, something like that. I think you'll win by a goal, whichever scoreline it is. I think you'll win.
Yeah, and then obviously we can't sleep on Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have been amazing.
Really good.
Yeah, really, really good this year. All their young players, and assuming everyone is still fit, Conor Gallagher's, Eze, Zaha.
How good's he been, by the way, though, Gallagher? He's been sensational. He's been sensational, not Skip.
He has been sensational, and he will also be on the plane, I believe, when it comes to the World Cup this time.
How many putting on this plane?
There's players in that squad. We are blessed in England, right, with so many amazing young players. We really are at the moment, and it's taken a long time to get this squad to where it needs to be, and we're so lucky that we've still got good English, proper homegrown talent, really good talent coming through as well. So what was your prediction again? Sorry, 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, 2-1 Spurs.
2-1. All right, cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 3-1. 3-1 on this one. Right, Aston Villa versus Chelsea.
I like this game as well.
It's a really good game, especially with the form that Chelsea are in. Villa have won their last 3 Boxing Day league games. Chelsea's last 2 league games have finished level. That's the last drawing 3 consecutive league games was in 2012. So the state that they're in at the moment, obviously Chelsea have had COVID problems, have had big injury problems as well. But it's kind of unraveled a little bit, from the Tuchel train that everyone was on and thinking that they were like unbreakable. What do you feel like is going to happen? Because Christmas is such an important time, to pick up points.
It is, and that's like I said, with the high turnover of matches, you can sort of see things not going the way that you always think they're going to. Do you know what I mean? Because COVID as well, and there's a lot of games in a short space of period of time. But Chelsea, I think defensively, obviously, they've always been quite solid. Then when they lost sort of Kovacic, Jorginho at some points, and obviously Kante, that balance of the control of the games kind of went, and they started kind of conceding more chances, hence conceding more goals. And their forward line, their forward players they're not getting better, in my opinion. Like they're decent players within their own right. So yeah, of course, Mason Mount's going to score the odd time. Lukaku's going to score the odd time. Ziyech, there's going to be one moment, good cross, good goal. But in terms of taking them up that level, I don't think Tuchel's done that. I look at their forward line, and I don't think he's made any of them better, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I think my thing with Lukaku is I think it's harsh to say he's a decent player. I think he's a good player.
Yeah,
but I think that I think that it's overhyped, in my opinion. I think he's a good player.
Overhyped?
I think he's a good player at Everton.
Do you think it's Tuchel's? Do you think it's his the playing style at Chelsea? Because do you know what I mean? Because Conte got the best out of him. At Man United, we didn't win anything, but he was always scoring goals.
I would say, the back end. I think that it is a bit. I think it is a bit to do with the playing style. I don't think necessarily they play to Lukaku's strengths.
Yeah.
But also, I'd say he was good at Everton. He was really good at Everton. I think he was all right at United. I don't think he was. I didn't set the world on fire for me.
Yeah.
And I think that it's different when you go to Italy and you go to Inter. Like Serie A is a very different league. Very, very different league. And I think when you're in the Premier League, a lot of players not get found out, but it's a lot harder, to maintain that level and consistently get goals as a striker. We see it with loads of strikers that come in, and not just strikers, any good players. Look at Sal from Atletico, just hasn't worked out for him at Chelsea, but an amazing player in the Liga. So for me, I think that it's a combination of things. But you and Saeed were saying on the last show that now you think Chelsea are in a top 4 race rather than a title race.
Welcome to the race, mate. Well, just all I ask, I saw on the Don Robbie post on Instagram, all the Chelsea fans come in for me, they're all triggered. All I was saying is that, you're Man United, you're this, you're that. Yeah, I just know my position. That's all. I just know I'm in the top 4 race. It's just know what you're competing for. Spurs can say the same thing. You're in the top 4 race. Arsenal, you can say it. Man United, West Ham can still want to, get involved. That's fine. But let's just assume our positions here. That's all. City, a City and Liverpool. Yeah, it's 90 point settings to win this league, and the only people who can set that sort of pace, I hate it. They're my bitter rivals. I can't stand either of them, but it's the facts. City and Liverpool are the only ones who can go toe to toe for it, and really, you're probably edging City, really, but they're the only two. Chelsea ain't putting up no 19 points plus.
I do agree with you on that. I think for me, Chelsea are probably not going to be winning the title this year, even though I think all of us probably had them maybe to win it
up there, and especially because they were doing so well, and that's what I'm saying. I can have that realization as putting them higher than I thought I should have. Now looking back on it, new evidence has been presented.
I think they're too reliant on people like Chilwell, Kante in particular. I think for me, like when he doesn't play, they just fall apart. So can't be reliant on one player. Anyway, Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard, resurgence. Them, man. They've been good. They've been really, really good. Even the games against City and against Liverpool, they arguably probably should have got something out of that, especially the City game. What do you reckon for them? Top 6, top 8?
I think, I don't see why Gerrard can't have aspirations of that top 8, top 6. Why not have a big push? I think he's done brilliantly. He's done brilliantly since he's gone in there. You can see how he wants to play, high energy, high octane. Players really buying into what he's putting in. Defensively, they look okay as well. The City game, exactly that. They should have got at least a draw out of that. Then the Liverpool game, Mo Salah dive. Actually, that was probably a pen, but still, they're the only 2 games they've lost, I believe. So look, I've this game. I fancy Villa, you know. I
I know.
fancy Villa. I fancy Villa or
Villa.
draw. Yeah.
I fancy Villa for this, so I'm going to go 2-1 Aston Villa.
Yeah, you can never write Chelsea off, because although I'm saying they're in the top 4 race, they're still a really good team, and Tuchel can, you know, they're capable of doing anything at any moment. But I'm just going to edge it. Yeah, 2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa. Let's see if we're right. Norwich versus Arsenal. Arsenal high flying at the minute.
Norwich. Is that Arsenal's next game, is it?
They've got Norwich. Norwich are at the foot of the table with just 10 points. Only 3 teams bottom of the Premier League at the start of Boxing Day have avoided relegation. It's not looking too good for Norwich. I know they had that mini bounce with Dean Smith. But Arsenal have looked good. They obviously beat Leeds 4-1 last week. I know Leeds have been terrible as well.
Leeds terrible, yeah.
But, you know, Martinelli has been directly involved in 6 goals in his last 6 games. He's now getting the credit as well. And what's so good from an Arsenal perspective is that, you know, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka, 20, 20 and 21. I mean,
brilliant.
Nketiah with the goals in the Carabao Cup the other day.
Yeah,
it's good. It's really good.
Especially after the fallout from Aubameyang, it's the best possible situation in terms of getting results after such a thing that shocks the club like that. Big talking point, fans all debating amongst each other. Is it the right thing? Is it the wrong thing? Do you know what I mean? The squad as well, probably thinking, you know, the dynamics have probably changed in the dressing room over not being there. I do think, I mean, I can only speak from a Man United fan's perspective, and a lot of our fan base always ridicule Arsenal and saying, listen, the top 4 trophy at Christmas, you know, listen to them. They think they're in the top 4 race, and, you know, Spurs got 3 games in hand. We got 2 games. I get all that. But I am actually going to give them a bit of credit, a lot of credit they deserve, in terms of all they can do is play their games, innit? They can play their games. Yeah, if Arsenal fans are going to be on social media getting excited, look, they've had bad times, so why shouldn't they? But I think more to the point is how well they're performing at this precise moment. But I just always feel like with Arteta, it's like, and Arsenal, they go through these little periods where it's really good. Then there'll be like a poor loss, like they'll lose in a bad way. Then it's like, this is why Arteta is not the man. And he's always going from doing a really good job to not good enough. It's always like that. His meter like that.
I totally agree with you. There's never like a happy medium with Arsenal and Arsenal.
No, but right now they're doing well. And I think they'll beat Norwich easily. Smith Rowe, Saka, like I said, Martinelli. I look at Gabriel. He's turning into a real leader. I'm really impressed with him. Tomiyasu, arguably signing the season so far quietly. What I like about Tomiyasu is that I think he's just a guy in the changing room, and just as a professional, it's just like, I know my job. I know my limitations and I know my strengths, and I'm just going to stick to that. And I'm going to give you solid 7-7s. I'll give you solid 7s for the whole season.
And to be fair, that's what you need from someone. That is literally what you need,
especially right back.
Exactly. And I think that the thing with Tomiyasu is that he was offered to every Premier League club. I mean, Spurs very nearly signed him. And it was that whole thing of, what is his position? Like, no one really knows. And like, kind of taking the mick out of him a bit. But
actually, like, it's right back to me, mate.
He's come in and he's really proved himself. And he's been a fantastic signing. You're absolutely right. What is your prediction for that one?
Norwich, man. I know we played really poorly against them and made them look quite decent, actually, to be fair. And then Villa went there, beat them up. 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal. Okay, I'm trying to make it different to yours, but I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. I'll go.
Okay, could be. Could be.
Arsenal. Right, Newcastle versus Manchester United. Manchester United back in action after their COVID outbreak. Newcastle have conceded 79 Premier League goals in 2021, the joint most in a single calendar year in the competition. Manchester United have scored 112 Premier League goals against Newcastle. No side has scored more against an opponent in history. So, I mean, Eddie Howe, I mean, it's such a tough job to come in and try and turn that ship around. I know they've got 1 win under their belt and they're not that far off safety, but surely not.
Said, listen, I don't like this because I don't give predictions on my team, on my channel, because every time I do it, I get it wrong. I get it really, really wrong. And I need to stick to that. I need to remember that. So sorry, Don Robbie. I know I've got to be neutral on this and give predictions, but I'm going to say win, lose or draw, but I can't give actual score predictions because I mess it up. I jinx it all the time. But I've been watching Newcastle a lot.
Have you seen any improvement? Because I haven't. I've seen no improvement.
I said this when Eddie Howe got there. I was like, big, I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. But look, it is about January. He's got to get some players in. I don't know who they're going to go for, who they're going to get. But you know, you look at their next batch of games that they've had. Obviously, City, was it Liverpool, and us?
Yeah.
You know, that could be 3 potential. Well, they've had 2 L's already. Hopefully, another L on top of that. I worry for them. I really do worry for them. I don't know. I'm not sure they're going to stay up.
I mean, what I always say about Newcastle is that they start to play the last 10 games of the season and get themselves out.
Yeah,
but
go on a little run. Yeah,
I just can't see where they're going to do that. I can't see where they've got any quality. I can't.
No, it's got to be the magic wand in January, innit? Where it's like we come back sort of February the 1st sort of thing after the January transfer window shut, and we're like, wow, Newcastle, look at the bounce they've had.
Yeah,
the
but
sort of thing needs that, but they could be way off it by then.
They could, yeah, exactly. They could be way off it. Secondly, you've got to find players that want to come and also that are going to be there for a relegation fight, you know. And if they get relegated, those players are not going to stick around. So even though they've got all this money, you know, it's not.
Tough.
They're probably going to be the richest club in the Championship at this rate.
Yeah.
So you're not giving me a prediction then?
Well, I think Man United will win the game. I think Man United will win the game on us very quickly. Obviously, we were underwhelming performance-wise against Norwich in our last game, which feels like ages ago now, actually.
Yeah.
2 games called off in that time, and a little bit. I know it's been staggered, but probably I don't want to make a positive out of players having COVID because there isn't. But in terms of like the situation, it's more time for Ralph Rangnick to obviously have time with the players.
Yeah.
It can only be a good thing. I know all of them have reported back now as well. So gave a few players who were injured as well a bit of time to get back. Cavani and what's his face, Varane as well. Pogba's back in training now as well. So that's a plus. But I want to see that 4-2-2-2 formation work a lot better than it did against Norwich. So yeah, I think Man United will win the game.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go 3-0 Manchester United on that one. Right, Liverpool versus Leeds. That has been postponed. So we're just missing that game, unfortunately.
Oh, right. Okay.
I mean, I think Leeds will probably be very happy to miss that game.
Oh, that would have been a minimum 5.
That would have been a massacre. So I think Leeds have got out of that one. West Ham versus Southampton. After a run of 4 straight Premier League victories in October, November for West Ham, they've won just 1 of their last 6 in the competition.
Struggling a bit now, isn't it?
They've drawn 2, lost 3. Yeah, this is exactly it. The Hammers have lost as many games in this run as they had in their previous 16, and they've failed to score in their last 2 Premier League games. Is it that thing with West Ham that they so focused on Europe, and then this is what I've always said. I think that they've got a good squad, good 11. But then as soon as people get injured, we've seen big injuries, Zuma or Bonner, Antonio's out with COVID. All it takes is another injury to Rice or Bowen.
Yeah.
For me, they're finished if that happens. Yeah,
they just don't quite exactly. And I think you big up Nicky as well. No, you know Nicky. I talked to him quite a bit about what a guy. And he was saying from even when they were doing really well, and it kind of gives you that perspective. He was like, we know it's going to catch up with us. We don't know. We can't believe we're this high in the league. You know, gone through and won their group in Europa League. We're just enjoying it. We don't expect to be here, and that's not taking the expectation away, but it's just a realization of they didn't expect to be in this position. So long may it continue, and let's just see how long the boys can do. And I think now, like you said, it's starting to catch up with them. If they get too many injuries at one point, they're going to struggle. And if key players go off form, it's not like they have someone else who can take the mantelpiece. I think Ben Rama. Like when he come on against you, looked good, you know, making things happen, but just can't just be him. You know what I mean? Jarrell Bowen did his thing. He scored in the game, but again, you need more. Vlasic isn't it. Yarmolenko isn't it. You know, these players, 4 hours is okay.
West Ham could go and have a very good January. You know, they bought in Jesse Lingard last year, and that's arguably why they finished as high as they did, having that burst of energy. So whether they bring someone else in January, they've done a fairly good bit of business.
Yeah, lately. They could pick it back up. They could potentially pick it back up, but they are going through a bit of a tough spell right now. They are. This game's interesting though, because Southampton just you don't really know what you're going to give. Sometimes they're awful. Sometimes they give you a game, but they're what we do know is their league position is not good, and they are having a bad season. So West Ham to get the W back at home. Boxing Day, is it?
It is. I don't actually know what.
Is it on the 27th?
I think it might be 27th.
I'm gonna say West Ham.
Okay.
I'm gonna
go. This is a draw. I'm gonna go 1. I'm gonna go 1-1 on this.
I see why you think that. I'm
going to go 1-1. Right, Burnley take on Everton. Burnley have won more Premier League home games against Everton than they have any other side in the competition. Everton have won just 1 of their last 11 Premier League games when they beat Arsenal 2-1 at Goodison Park. However,
Everton are in trouble.
They got that draw against Chelsea, which people would never have backed them to do.
Yeah, that was actually in the league. I forgot about that. It was actually in the league, wasn't it? Yeah, with all the kids, I should play them more often.
I'd say there's been a slight turning point for Everton.
I don't know, Abby, man. It's too hard to say because I think, the word slight, I kind of agree with ever so slight. I'll probably add ever to that because I just feel like, I don't know, they need to put, for me to say that like turning a corner, they need to put some back-to-back wins together. They need to start climbing the table, man. I mean, I'm looking at it as it stands now. They're in 14th place, 19 points. You know, they're not doing well enough, and the pressure's just, they're one bad result, another bad result away from the pressure just really coming on top of Rafa Benitez. Yes, they've had a few injuries, but they've still, for the large part, had some good senior pros available, and some of the performances they've been churning out haven't been good, even for the players that have been available. Burnley, they're just that team, innit? At Turf Moor.
Burnley at
difficult.
home are not to be knocked at home.
No. Draw.
Okay.
Draw.
I'm actually going to go 1-0 Burnley win.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a lot of goals in it. Yeah, I see that.
I'm going to go 1-0 Burnley. Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Right, Brighton versus Brentford. Brighton are winless in their last 11 Premier League games.
Such a weird one, Brighton.
It's such a weird one because you always say that, oh, Brighton, they do so well, but again, that's the same old story. They just don't put the ball in the back of the net. The Seagulls last having a longer run without a victory in the competition between August and October 2002. It was a good start to the season from Brighton, but they're really starting to struggle to get points now. Do you think they're going to be in trouble this season?
If they carry on not winning games, there's always a chance they can get sucked in. But I don't think they'll be in the relegation zone, only because the teams down there, I can't see them mounting some real consistent performances to get close enough to Brighton. Even if Brighton keep kind of drawing and stuff, they're on 20 points, and Burnley are on 11. So they've got like good 9 points there. I just feel like they'll be okay. There's enough teams worse than them to avoid getting into the real dogged relegation thing. But they were booing that one game, wasn't it, when they got a draw against Leeds or was it Everton? I can't remember who it was against.
Yeah, they were turning on Potter, but I have to say, I think Brighton fans should be careful, because if he goes, and he's looked at by a number of very big clubs, where they would be without Graham Potter, and I don't think it would be consistently in the Premier League.
Yeah, and maybe they can go and get a out-and-out goal scorer or somebody to help Mopé anyway, to facilitate him to score more goals in January. I'm sure that's something they'll be looking at, because they just, like you said, they just don't score enough goals. Brentford finding it tough. They're kind of just ticking along. They're not losing every game and playing horrendously. There's enough in there to still say, they're working hard. They're playing for Thomas Frank the best they can, on the same points as Brighton they are. So, and Crystal Palace. So they've done really well.
Because of how good they were, at the start of the season, and how much they kind of shocked everyone. This is still a Championship side that has come up, hasn't had a transfer window in it yet, and they're very good with the way they do their transfers and things like that. They've brought in some amazing players, and which have gone to Aston Villa now, West Ham, and Watkins, Benrahma. To name a few. So I think we have to have a look at that and obviously assess. And
a big 3 points on them last game as well. They beat Watford at home. That was a big. And they didn't play well at all. They were 1-0 down for a long time.
Those are the games that these teams have to beat. They have to beat their direct rivals, like the Watfords, like the Norwiches, things like that. That's where they're going to pick up their points. I've got no fear that Brentford will still be here this time next year. I think they'll be.
You think they'll definitely be here?
Yeah, I don't see them going down. I think they've got enough quality, to be fair, more than actually a lot of the sides that are in that relegation battle. I think it's just looking at the play. It's just always about looking at the teams, isn't it, who could be worse off. And I think there's a good chance that they might just, like similar to Brighton, they might just avoid it, because Leeds are horrendous. Burnley ain't great. Newcastle and Norwich are just going to be there for a while, I think. And also, I'm throwing Southampton into that as well.
Southampton, exactly, horrendous. So, haven't been good. Yeah.
What's your prediction for this one, please?
Draw. Another draw for Brighton. I think another draw. 1-1.
This has got 1 all over it. All over it. Right, and that's it, because Wolves versus Watford has been postponed. They've got depleted squad numbers because of COVID. It is sad, but look, as long as, like we said, as long as we can keep going as much as possible.
But I also know as well, though, a lot of people's family, and look, it's obviously about health, 100%, but you just know a lot of people's kind of family and their life is going to football, and especially on Boxing Day and stuff like that. It's been a big part of their lives. I've got a lot of people I know it's a big part of their lives and not going to be able to go. So feel it for them. But like you said, it's about the safety of the players and the safety of the fans as well.
Of course. And do you know what? As long as it's still on TV, I know it's not, as fun to sit and watch on TV. I just had to suffer that. I had to watch that Liverpool game on TV, the Spurs Liverpool game. What a game to miss as well. But, as long as we've got something to keep us going and watching and, make it not so doom and gloom in this country.
Exactly.
We'll be happy. Right, before we wrap up, we're almost halfway through the season. We basically are halfway through the season, bar these games that we have to kind of play in lieu. I want to know your top 4 prediction, please, and who you think's going to get relegated.
I'm going to say top 4 is in order. Well, I think City will win the league. Liverpool second. Saeed was saying Man United to get third over Chelsea. I'm not really getting involved in all that yet, if I'm honest. I'm not. Because I need to see, as much as I love my team, we need to see what we do under Ralph Rangnick. It's been 2 games and the Norwich game wasn't great. Half an hour against Palace was really good. And he needs more time to work with them. So I can see why people think that, because Chelsea have fallen off a little bit. But in no particular order, Man United and Chelsea to be in that top 4.
Okay.
To go down, I think obviously Norwich. I think as it is, actually. I actually think as it is. Burnley, Newcastle, Norwich.
Okay. I rate that. Okay. Right. For me, I'm going to go Manchester City to win the league. Yeah. Liverpool second. I'm going Chelsea third. And I'm going Spurs fourth.
Forgot about Spurs.
And however...
Wait, hold on. Wait. What did you say about Man United?
I didn't include you.
They're getting 5th or something like that.
Only asked for top 4. Yeah.
Arsenal.
This is the thing. I'm putting Spurs in there, and I could be very, very wrong. However, I'm going to back them purely for the fact that so far they've played very, very well. They've yet to lose under Antonio Conte in the league. They've got 3 games in hand, and I'm not saying they're going to win all 3 games. Knowing Spurs, they won't. But if they beat their Christmas fixtures, they've got Watford, Palace, Southampton, in my opinion, all very winnable. And if they win those 3 fixtures that they've got in hand, which are Brighton, Burnley, and Leicester.
Can't remember who else. Leicester. Yeah.
Again, 3 winnable fixtures. If they can beat them all or get results in all of them, put Spurs in a very strong position.
If we win our 2 games in hand against Brentford and
Brighton, no European football. No football now for Spurs.
No football. Yeah. No, look, under Conte, I did say many times, I wanted Conte at Man United. I don't think anyone can talk shit about Conte. You can't. He's a very, very good manager. And what did we say on the Triple Eight thing as well? He's good enough to exploit any gap, any opening that's been left. And Chelsea are starting to enter the conversation, says opening. Man United, obviously, we have to change manager, so we're in the same boat as you, trying to sort things out. So there's an opening, and Arsenal are exploiting a bit of an opening. So why Conte is in there? Spurs are in with a shot.
If Spurs have a good January transfer window, which I'm praying that they back him. I'm just saying it's not off the table for me. So
no, but for Man United though, on my team, if with our squad, if Ralph does what he's meant to do, what he's capable of doing with how he can play football and his philosophy and stuff, with them players, there should be no reason why we can't even get over Chelsea and get third.
Absolutely, I think it makes a really, really interesting second half.
Catastrophe if we don't get top 4. We're underachieving. Yes.
Well, I think it'd be interesting, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing a proper title race and a proper top 4 race as well, because it's been really boring the last few years. And to go down, I think at the beginning of the season, I backed Norwich, Burnley, Southampton to go down. So Newcastle, I'm going to change my prediction and do Norwich, Burnley, Newcastle.
Okay.
And take Southampton out for now. Okay. Ask me again in another 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to change.
It's going to change, but I'm looking forward to it. It's been a really, really good season so far. Guys, make sure you head over to the Don Robbie Extra app at www.donrobbie.com for exclusive content. And of course, stay tuned with us. We've got so much to bring you over the festive period as usual. And hopefully we'll be back in the studio from next week or just after Christmas time. So everyone have a great Christmas, and we will see you very, very soon.